Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to Kicker Rock's podcast, 2 Drink Minimum. Do you like children's movies? You know, Kicker Rock does. I wasn't there for this one. I'm very, very jealous of this, but Sergio, Joe, and Tony got together and talked about their favorite children's movies. So here's 3 grown-ass men talking about children's movies. Enjoy.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Kicker Rock's 2 Drink Minimum. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Hey, you don't sound like Bill Miller.
I am not Bill Miller. I am.
What?
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute. First, I'm Joe.
Tony.
Sergio.
That's it for tonight. As Tony mentioned, we are short of Bill Miller this week, as Bill and his lovely wife, Megan, welcomed the beautiful Luna Colette Miller to the world. Luna. The latest member of the Kick Rock family. So, yep. So congratulations to the Millers and to, Kicker Rock for having a baby.
We've got a new actor.
Right. So that said, too, we thought it would be a great opportunity for this 2 Drink Minimum to be about our favorite children's movies, I guess we can term it as. We talked animated movies, Disney movies, whatever. I think we're settling on our favorite children's movies.
Hold on, Joe. When we first talked about it, I thought you said the Disney movies in general. We can expand outside of Disney?
Yeah, I said Disney/animated because I was originally thinking animated, but then you wanted to go.
Okay.
You had some ideas.
That's my answers don't change.
You just being difficult.
I just want to be difficult.
Okay. Well, okay, Mr. Difficult, go first.
All right. We'll just dive right into this. Okay, so I kind of broke my favorite kids movies into to 2, where one's like stuff that I liked when I was little to stuff that I like now as an adult. So I think maybe I'll actually, we're going to just go talk about one. So I'm just going to go with one that I liked when I was a little kid. And it's a weird one because I don't know why I like it. And I usually don't like movies that have singing in it. But for some reason, Mary Poppins was a weird
choice.
little kids one that I always liked as a little kid, and I have to be honest, I think I just really liked Dick Van Dyke's character as the chimney sweeper.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's he just for me, I loved that character, and just the fact that I think because when I was little, Dick Van Dyke Show is one of those weird shows that just was a rerun, and for me that was also a TV show that I feel like a lot of people don't know or appreciate or ever watched it, but it's pretty friggin' hilarious for being a 50s TV show.
It's there's certain things like that hold up. Carol Burnett is her show was
that's another
hilarious,
great one
and it
for
still
that
holds up, man.
improv type, sketch
Right.
comedy type
Sure.
of show. But that's the same thing with Dick Van Dyke Show is one of those weird goofy little shows that I thought was hilarious as a little kid. And then seeing Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins, for me, that was another thing where it was the whole
You got to see Bert once a week on another show. You're so excited.
yeah, exactly. And it sounds stupid because obviously those movies and shows were way decades before I'm a product of 80s as a little kid, the 80s stuff that was going on.
I think it's funny that you as a child grew up watching reruns of Dick Van Dyke, whereas I was watching Archie Bunker. In All in the Family.
See, for me, it was a lot of MASH. I watched a lot of MASH as a kid.
Not to sidetrack.
No.
But MASH was one of those shows that I didn't get into until I was older because it was always that MASH and Taxi had those intros that just to me were boring.
Yes,
as a little kid.
As a kid,
so as soon as I heard the music, yeah, exactly. I'm I don't want to watch this.
Change it.
I gotta wait for this helicopter to land and have everybody show
I could
up.
not agree with you
Exactly.
more. That was how I was as a kid too. That MASH. I don't want to watch this.
Exactly. It just felt old and dated. And
But see, here's the thing: your attention span was broken by 10 seconds, which is long compared to kids' attention spans breaking.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
But kudos to us.
But back to those 2 shows, when I got older and I watched those 2 shows, I think they're great TV shows, great sitcom writing, just great television.
Sure.
100%.
I never watched a lot of Taxi. I can't like say that I'm a fan.
Do yourself a
I can
favor.
say-
It's great.
I know certain characters and clips and catchphrases and stuff like that, but I'm not going to say like, oh, Taxi was great. I can't like I don't know, so I don't want to act like I'm a fan when I'm not. But MASH, I watched a ton of MASH.
Yeah.
Alan Alda.
So great.
What
So great.
God, so
All
good.
right, let's try to focus.
Anyway,
Sorry, back to Mary
check this
Poppins.
back on track. Back to Mary Poppins.
So Mary Poppins was just one of those weird little movies that when I was a little kid, I just really liked the story. I really liked, the way they would just break out into these goofy little songs or like end up in these weird worlds of like, Dick Van Dyke sitting there drawing pictures on the sidewalk in chalk, and all of a sudden they're jumping into that scene. Like, to me, that was just like amazing and cool and fun, and I was like always just drawn to that, I guess type of comedy that Dick Van Dyke was really good at. Mm-hmm. So
his comedic timing was great, like, as far as like his delivery of lines, but like physically too, what he was capable of. Because I'm guessing he was a trained dancer. I'm guessing he had some sort of like training because like he was awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like he's one of those actors who is really good at using his whole body, kind of like what Kramer did for Seinfeld, with that being a very animated, able to contort his body in ways to where it like adds to the comedic like timing of certain things. The way he contorted his body for that comedic timing, I just always appreciated Dick Van Dyke as a really good actor and comedic,
Sure.
person. So that's my choice. I'm gonna go with.
Have you seen the new one?
No, and I refuse to. And I know it's not a remake; it's a continuation of the story. But I'm just not ready for like. I'm not ready for that.
I've heard good things. I really like Emily Blunt and
I do
everything
too.
that she's done, but that's kind of why I don't want to see this too.
You don't want it to ruin it for you.
I don't want to ruin her. That and like I still haven't been able to see Hamilton. And I feel like I should see that first before I see anything else that he has to do with him. So, like, I don't know. I haven't seen the new one yet. Fan of the original one, though. Like, great time.
Definitely.
It's a childhood ringer, man. I wish I would have thought about that one.
Yeah, I wasn't even going that route. Like I said, my head was in animation the whole time.
And the funny thing is, like you said, I thought we were talking about Disney at first.
Yeah.
And, but still, like I said, Disney's just known for doing really good family kid movies, and that's the first one that popped in my head that I liked watching as a little kid.
Their thing exclusively, I think, until they bought everything else.
Yeah,
until they owned all of us.
Yeah. Right.
Can I do a little like a secondary one, because like if
I feel like we're gonna go around again.
Yeah, let's go. Sorry.
I think we're gonna go around again, and we might even go around a third time, or just have open discussion.
My God. Mono, you diabolical.
Yeah, well, somebody different at the range tonight, fellas.
Getting weird. Well, since Joe's obviously picking animation, I'm going to go before him because
I was going to say, you go ahead.
Mine is on the coattails of Sergio's, a similar weird breaking out into song and dance, and that's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, the original.
Yes, the original. Not the depth. The mess of a depth.
We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams.
Keep it going.
That's the whole line of that scene.
I'm so over you right now. When Joe brought this up, I thought you pitched it. You're like, hey, we should do a Disney kids animation kind of family film because of Luna. And I'm like, yeah. And then I've been racking my brain. I'm like, I can't remember any movies that I like loved as a kid and still like or even don't like. I try to think back, but I'd say that Willy Wonka is probably one of them. Even as a kid, I feel like I was always like a Gene Wilder fan. So like anything that he's in was always good. Like I watched a lot of Silver Streak growing up over and over again.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. Really anything that he was in. So what's is there another one with him and Richard Pryor? Hear No Evil.
Yes.
One of them.
Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like I watched a lot of him growing up. So I think that's one of the ones like Willy Wonka stayed with me. That and like his character is Willy Wonka, and that like he plays it so like perfectly insanely, like
yes,
absolute madman. just like one of my favorite things when they're like, you have to stop him. And he's, no, stop. No, please.
Yeah, don't stop, please.
It's like
I'm
one
kind
of my
of
favorite
bummed you
ones.
picked that right now because like now I want to like say, you know what, I like that one better than
Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
It's a better
'Cause
film.
Well, I mean,
But it's
you're
okay.
to go ahead and agree with him.
Yeah, you can say it that I was
It's
right.
okay.
I think you're right, Tony.
I ruined your childhood.
I think you're
I
right.
ruined your
I really
child.
think you're right. It's just a good movie. There's a good lesson in it. You know what I mean? I think the major lesson is don't do a continuation with Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. But also, I've never watched that. I've never watched that all at once. That sequel.
Don't.
I couldn't. That's why I stopped. I've seen it in bits and pieces.
I've never watched it at all.
I watched the whole thing hoping the whole time that it was going to get better.
But no.
It just didn't.
It's unfortunate, and I respect, you know, the fact that Tim Burton wanted to be closer to the book, and you know Johnny Depp for wanting to take that character in his very extreme ways that he tends to. But it came off as creepy, and I know that's what everyone was saying at that time when it came out, and like, but at the same time, I think that's the only thing I could think of. Like, he just came off as creepy.
See, even my desire to not see it was based solely on like the trailers and the like all the promotional stuff. It just all looked creepy.
Yeah.
Like this isn't going to be right.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's a great.
You know what I'm
It's an
curious
awesome
though, like what little kids that saw went to the theater and saw the new one feel about it, because like I'm
point.
stuck to what I loved and knew
that's
about
what we
Gene
grew up
Wilder.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, but will
like
they
Gene
hate,
Wilder's
will they hate our version that we love so much? Right?
probably.
Like Johnny Depp's probably a god to a lot of these kids, and he's a great actor.
Right.
There's no doubt in that, but I wonder if they hold him in a high regard like we do with Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I think Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka was great, but then at
Yeah.
the same time, you like heard reviews about like the author like hated the movie. He hated Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory.
Huh.
So it's like, you know, what do we know? We were little kids just enjoying a good story, a good fun story, where a
That's
director
another
and
one of
writer
those
took
where it
liberties.
didn't do well.
Yeah.
right.
And it wasn't until it like got released on video later that it just started crushing. It was
that
this
it
cult
became
following.
a cult or like
I mean,
an
but can
iconic
you-
film, and yeah,
I mean, I think the most creepiest part of that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the whole boat ride scene when they're going through that tunnel. And it's just like all like the weird stuff. Then you have like the lizard,
my
the
favorite-
cat, like the what was it, like the
favorite
centipede
parts.
coming like walking
Out of the
around
nose.
yeah, like it's
Yeah.
so weird.
It's
that
one of
was
my
It's like, why
favorite-
is it? Why are
That's
they
one
doing
of
this
my
for little
favorite
kids?
trippy parts, though. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
weird and awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, at least we know that it was good enough or iconic enough to have a reboot or a continuation or whatever. But I can't really say that because today's Hollywood does that with everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, yeah,
do?
that's a great pick, dude. That's
Yeah.
an awesome children's film. Like you guys have now thrown out two that didn't even cross my radar because I had these ones in my head already. that
We're
have
all
been my-
different, Joe.
Yeah.
We're all different.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why this is a beautiful thing. This 2 Drink Minimum podcast.
There you go.
Do you have anything you wanted to add to your pick there, Tone? Anything more to mention? Talk about who was your favorite
Gene Wilder.
kid?
Gene Wilder.
Your favorite child elimination, if you will.
Oh, favorite child elimination. I don't know. Augustus annoyed me when he was just drinking out of the river. I feel like he had it coming.
Right.
It's like,
They
dude,
all
that's-
had it.
They all
No,
had it coming.
But he was just shoving his hands into that river and just drinking it. They were all assholes.
Yeah. Mike TV.
He was annoying.
Yep.
Veruca Salt was
Veruca Salt
probably
Was the
my
worst. She was the worst.
favorite.
I feel like she
snobby
ne-
little brat.
Yeah, but
I know.
I feel
think
like
she was the
I
number
feel
one
like she
villain.
needed
Yeah.
a. She was the most annoying, but her exit, I feel like she deserved more punishment than she got.
Yeah.
She went into the incinerator. How
No,
could you
it didn't show. She fell. That was it. She
You-
fell and she was gone.
Right.
That's like everybody else had a pretty epic.
She was a
Like,
bad
what was her
egg.
name?
But look at this.
Blueberry.
But yeah, the blueberry girl almost blows up, and they roll her.
Roll her away.
Yeah, yeah.
Little Sergio,
Oh,
diabetes.
Diabetes.
So they roll her away. Augustus gets stuck in a tube and then blasted out. Mike TV gets
Shrunk down.
blown up to put back together, shrunk down in his mom's purse. And Veruca Salt just disappears. No.
She was a bad egg.
She was a bad egg.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's your favorite? Who's your what did you refer to it as?
Child elimination.
Your favorite child elimination.
I think the blueberry.
I'm picking Veruca Salt.
We're all a little different. We'll just say Bill would have picked
Bill would have picked
TV.
Mike TV.
Bill probably would have, actually.
Right.
JT,
I guess we'll have to find out.
JT,
He hated the movie. And
you
didn't want to
hated
talk
it.
about
It was too. It was too
close to
real.
home. It was too close to home. It was too close to home.
Willy Wonka, look, they just got that movie right, man. It was just too close to home.
Blowing kids up like blueberries was so right.
Well, when Sergio, or when JT was a kid, he won a trip to a chocolate factory, and he almost got murdered by the owner. So,
listeners, Tony definitely made
it.
that up.
I get it. All right. So, all right, I'm done with mine. Joe, what do you got? What's yours?
All right, so I had 3 top choices.
Well, pick one.
But I'm picking one for now. It's a Disney animated movie, my favorite one, and it's held up forever as my favorite. Fox and the Hound.
Nice.
And the voices were Mickey Rooney was Todd, who was the fox.
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell as Copper, the dog.
Was Kurt Russell?
Yeah. A young
Just remember
Kurt
him
Russell.
going, I'm a hound.
I'm a hound dog.
I'm a hound dog.
Yeah, it was like it's always been my favorite. Always been mine. It was the last Disney animated feature to simply end with the end, by the way.
Oh.
So actually, this was Disney's first animated feature to use computer graphics. Most of the CGI in this movie is shown during a scene where Amos Slade traps Todd and Vixie in the burrow. But no, I can't even tell you exactly why that became my favorite. I think as a kid it was just because I liked the characters, and that kind of just stuck with me.
It could be because
it's also sad
it's really sad. It's a sad story.
Yeah.
But like it could be because you had the tape too or something. Like,
oh yeah,
it's
definitely
funny,
had
like,
the VHS, like for sure.
when you were a kid, it's like what you had at your house, you just watched.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Or
again.
like, when we used to go to my dad's every other weekend, we'd go to the video store, and we would find ourselves renting the same movies
Over and over
every
again.
like other weekend. So like that was one. Little Monsters was one.
Sure.
With Fred Savage and Howie Mandel, which is funny because like that was recently on like HBO or something, and it's awful.
Oh, I feel like that can't hold up. I haven't watched it since I was
It's so
a kid.
bad, but I still
like-
have a special place in my heart for it because I loved it so much as a kid. But anyway, yeah. So my
Like,
favorite
Howie
Disney
Mandel's
movie.
character's an asshole, as far as I can remember now. Now that
Yeah,
I think about it,
yeah, pretty much.
he was pretty much he has some like redeeming qualities towards the end,
Toward
but
the
like
end, right.
he was an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. Needless to say, Fox and the Hound, favorite Disney movie ever. I might go home and watch it tonight. I don't know.
Honest
We'll
thought,
see.
though.
That's the thing. Like, even when I came up with this suggestion for the podcast, I've been accused of being a big kid, like just an overgrown
You
child.
are a man
Just-
child.
Right.
Yeah, like
a fact.
when ex-girlfriends called you childish, I don't think that means like you're a big kid.
Very funny. No,
Joe's gonna go home, eat a fistful of Skittles on his nightstand, watch Fox and the Hound,
No.
and sleep till noon.
a roll of Thin Mints. I'm not sleeping till 9 o'clock.
You said a roll of Thin Mints.
Yeah, roll of Thin Mints and watch Fox and the Hound.
You are a big man child. That's all right, man. You own it.
I love my candy, my cookies, my animated movies. Leave
Yeah.
me alone. Back off.
Hey, no judging, no judging.
Judgment-free zone.
All right, so Sergio, your second choice.
I'm just gonna give a quick shout out because when we started to talk about all these old movies and little kid stuff, and I started thinking about, I actually really, really like the movie An American Tale with Fievel.
Somewhere out there.
That was gentlemen, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
You really nailed the essence of Fievel. And
So yeah, that like after our little conversation, that was like one of those things where
I
it's like,
loved that movie
I
as
just
a kid.
remembered that movie.
See, I
was
couldn't remember any of this.
It
I
was
loved
great.
that as a kid.
Yeah, and
Now, I don't know if that holds up.
Well, I don't know if it holds up either, but I do remember me and my sister, who was 2 years older. I mean, we loved that movie together, and I remember
Me and my
like you would
sister
go
too.
and you would go to like they had a $5 like they sold them at Kmart. That's what I remember is like just being at Kmart, the one over there on Pulaski. It used to be on Pulaski and 111th. I just remember that because they had the horse things outside the
little
door,
carousel?
and it was like that retro 70s like awning on the top of it. But and then they'd have that gigantic bag of popcorn towards the exit, and then to the right of it, it was like just a
Ices.
wall. Yeah, the ices, but then there was just like a wall of $5 just hung up, and you can like pick one off the wall and spend like I don't even know how much because I was a little kid and money didn't. I didn't know
Didn't
the
translate
idea,
that.
yeah. But I just remember seeing this giant wall of $5 and wanting it, and my parents getting me and my sister ones for Christmas. So,
Dude, I love.
but yeah, that movie was
I
like,
love that movie.
yeah,
That was a great movie. 1986 for an American Tale.
Yeah.
And it had several sequels to it.
So Fox and the Hound was Five Goes West isn't terrible. It's
Right.
more based
I don't
on
think
his
I've ever
fat
seen
cat
Five
friend as a gunslinger. It's a western.
Okay,
It's called Five Goes West. I don't know why I had to tell you it was a western.
it's a western. An American Tale, definitely one as a little kid that I really like. However, my honorable mention, my second choice, this movie. Okay, for a long time, I did not want to watch Pixar movies because for some reason, like when Toy Story came out, I didn't watch that in the theaters, and all the subsequent ones after that, I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this new technology, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to watch, hand-drawn art, whatever. I find, like, when WALL-E came out, it had such a hype to it. I was finally like, screw it. I'm gonna sit down and watch this movie. That movie blew me away.
The animation or is everything? The story,
Everything. The story, the animation, the ability to spend 30 minutes without any dialogue, and it's just a machine doing its thing on a daily basis, and then seeing another machine and having this little romantic comedy between them with literally no language. It just like everything about it, like the writing, the animation, it was just so well done that I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back and watch some of these Pixar movies, and that opened the door, and I was like, wow, Toy Story is great. Wow, yeah. Bug's Life is great. Wow, like I was just. After that, I was hooked.
Yeah, so, Pixar doesn't mess around, man. They really had some bangers come out.
And do yourself a favor. Watch the documentary, A Pixar Story. It's actually really, really great because it takes you from it takes you all the way from the beginning where John Lasseter was during college, he took some classes at the Disney school I want to say it was in Florida, but I could be wrong. It could have been the school in California.
Beautiful downtown Orlando?
Yes. It was probably California. But things that a lot of people don't know, John Lasseter took classes with Disney, ended up getting a job as an intern, quit it because they didn't want to try doing the technology stuff that he wanted to do. Got a job over at Lucasfilms in their digital department, started creating short little animated stories through Lucasfilms department that was called Pixar. Lucasfilms decided, we don't know where we're going to go with this. So John Lasseter had the opportunity to take Pixar and create it as its own company in order to get funding in order to do this. Ended up striking a deal with Steve Jobs just after he was kicked out of Apple. And Steve Jobs was a big fund, he helped fund the startup of Pixar that we know today. And Steve Jobs was just somebody who just didn't care that they didn't have anything yet, but just believed in it so much and believed in John Lasseter that continued to spend money to get them to be able to get to the point where they made the movie Toy Story and then sell that back to Disney.
Right.
And it's such a cool documentary story.
I saw this, but now that you mentioned Steve Jobs, it makes sense why Sergio is a fan.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's
Steve Jobs, yeah. I'm in.
But when you hear that whole story of
wild.
just it's like wow,
well,
it's
there is a documentary about
it's
this.
It's called A Pixar Story. It's a really good documentary, and check it out when you get a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I believe it was at one point on Netflix. I'm not sure if it still is. I love the Incredibles movies too. I recently finally got to see the second one, and it was pretty great.
They're both good.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sergio. You knew about my love for these
You're
animals.
welcome, Joe.
All right, Sergio, are you wrapped up on Wall-E?
That was it. Wall-E, top notch.
Wall-E, top notch.
Top notch, huh?
All right. All right.
It's a bit
Tony.
all right.
I didn't know what I was going to pick, and then we were looking at the DVD rack, and Sergio pulled up Milo and Otis. So I'm going to go ahead and say for my honorable mention, this is something I remember watching over and over as a kid, and it was just like adorable and awesome. This little journey of a kitten and a puppy together.
Yeah.
Fun little narrator with this accent. Like, it was just great.
I've never seen it. Is it live action or is
Oh,
it
yeah.
cartoon?
It's live action.
No, it's legit. Like, and actually, one of them was in the river at one point. It always freaked me out as I got older, thinking, "Oh my god,
Isn't the cat in the river?
did something happen?" I think it's the cat to one of them, because like this was made in.
It's the 80s too, isn't it?
When did they start caring about animals? This is 86. So like it's scary. Like, oh shit, did something happen to the original Milo or the original Otis? But it's adorable. The curious kitten named Milo and his inseparable friend, a pug-nosed puppy named Otis, tumble through one of the exciting escapade after another and the adventures of Milo and Otis, a heartwarming live-action film. Milo and Otis start their life on a I just went Irish all of a sudden. Milo and Otis start their life on the farm and they go on with their brothers and sisters.
All right, now do Cockney.
And I can't do Cockney. Anyways, did you guys ever? That's terrible. See, that's why I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Have you ever seen Milo and Otis?
No.
No?
When I was a kid.
Yeah. I think it probably holds up. It's probably scarier to watch now.
It's very similar to the Homeward Bound franchise, I believe.
And that made me think of this too. I was like, Homeward Bound, was that good or not? And I was like, Michael J. Fox was one of those voices. Of course it was good.
Right.
Anything with Michael J. Fox in it is great.
Pretty much.
Spin City? Was he in that?
Yeah.
Most of the things Michael J. Fox does is great.
Right.
Secret of my success.
Tell me, what is it?
It's about the secret of my success.
Tell me about your secret.
No.
Such a stupid joke. Anyway, so my second choice was The Adventures of Milo and Otis, and honorable mention I just need to put out Wizard of Oz, because I was the Tin Man.
There you go.
That's one of those that like.
Did you say you were the Tin Man?
8th grade musical, yeah.
Wow.
Tin Man.
Impressive.
So I got a soft spot for that in my. You know what? Something weird about those older movies that get dark. There's parts of Mary Poppins that are dark and weird.
Yeah.
There's parts of Willy Wonka that are fucking dark and weird.
Very dark.
There's tons of Wizard of Oz that are dark and weird.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, is that why we like those and lean towards those? But those are also classics to like a lot of people, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the trippy and weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you always.
They also
been a
use
fan of
mercury
Yeah.
paint to like cover the Tin Man with. And
That's what I used in 8th grade too. I almost died.
Really?
No. But
Is that what
my father and I
increased your-
rigged a pump in my hand with baby powder to go up to my funnel hat
To
so
shoot.
I could shoot smoke.
Oh, so that's
That's
why
super
you're so
cool.
good at props. Because like as a little kid, you like were
Oh
exposed
my god!
to
I gotta
like.
give props to my pops for my props.
That was.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was definitely
It was
Wow.
crazy.
very cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Awesome.
All right.
Joe.
So yeah, I had two other ones that are pretty similar, I feel like. So my honorable mention that I won't get terribly into is All Dogs Go to Heaven.
I don't remember
Okay.
that.
No? That was a good one.
I know what you're talking about. It's just like I just can't remember.
The dog was like hit by a car and killed, and then
I-
he like, gets a second chance.
Okay. See, the girl who lived
be
across the
good.
street from me,
Yeah.
Nicole Peraro, not that you're listening, she had that as a VHS, and I can remember seeing it in her VHS collection, but we
Yeah.
never watched it. I don't remember that movie as a kid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that either, to be honest.
Okay, well, check it out, guys. It's a really good one.
Okay.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. All Dogs Go to Heaven. Great movie. My actual pick for number 2, it would be Oliver and Company, which was referenced earlier. And I think it's just because I loved the dog, Dodger, Billy Joel's character. And like, did you know that it was Billy Joel?
Is Oliver about a cat?
Yeah, Oliver's the cat, voiced by a young Joey Lawrence.
Whoa.
Whoa. Indeed.
Whoa.
Cheech was the Chihuahua in the gang.
Sort of ringing a bell a little
So
bit.
this cat.
Now that the stereotypes
lost.
are coming in, I can start
Right?
to
A lost and alone kitten joins a gang of dogs engaged in petty larceny in New York City.
It literally sounds like my upbringing in the Heights.
Right. Right. It's exactly the same. But it's just fun, and like the like all the songs in it are fun and stuff like that. And like it was actually, I feel like it was like a almost maybe like inspiration for a more recent one, The Secret Life of Pets.
Oh, yeah. So I can see
the
those.
story
That's
was fairly
a similar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The story was fairly similar.
There's the group of animals that are like they're like stealing shit, aren't they? Or they're robbing things?
Kind of. Like in Secret Life of Pets, they're like the one, wasn't the one.
Well, they're trying to get
gets
the
out.
one home to his actual, like, because he strayed away from his, like, owner.
Right. Then they're
And
trying to get him home.
They're trying to get him home, but
And
it
this
turns
is
out.
Oliver and Company's similar
Okay.
in a sense, I guess. Like the premise is there. Like it's an
Yeah.
adventure of these various animals throughout the city.
Working together in the city.
Right. Because I also loved Secret Life of Pets. I thought it was great. But Oliver and Company was great. The songs were great. Like
I'm starting to
action
remember the songs in the trailer now.
Yeah.
Is he a yellow or orange cat?
Yeah, he's an
Yeah,
orange
it's starting
cat.
to come back. I'm starting to see the trailer now.
Yeah, and that one was 1988. So
Jesus.
yeah, so there's that. I mean, I feel like too. Of course, I could talk about my favorite children's movies forever. Like, and we could also divert in other directions. Goonies was in a
Is
sense
that
a
children's
Sure.
or teen, like young?
Because I saw that as a kid, man.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Probably the
Like
same
8,
time.
9? Really? That
When
young?
did they come out? I was born in
86.
82, man.
80? Was it
Came out in
86?
86.
So I was 4.
So
I technically could have picked Goonies, Monster Squads, all the movies I've talked about on other podcasts already.
Masters of the Universe,
Oh,
85.
that's one of them that doesn't hold up.
No, but at the time, as a kid,
There was
It was
live action
live
He-Man,
action
so
He-Man.
it was like one of
Like-
the best things in the world.
yeah. I mean,
When did Lost Boys
or
come
like
out?
guys. I mean, we
88?
also missed like the Lion King. Nobody mentioned the Lion King.
87. Lost
The Lost
Boys.
Boys, nice.
Luna, we're going to give you all these movies.
You're gonna
You're
the
when
Lost Boys.
When you're 5, I'm going to show you Lost Boys because that's when I saw it.
Papa, will I watch these cartoons one day? Oh, Luna.
well,
Of course you will, silly
Here's the
Luna.
thing about all these, like especially like the Disney ones. They always every couple of years they release them to be bought.
Yeah,
out of
which
the
is
vault.
cool.
However,
and they remaster them and they send them to theaters too, which is cool.
but that's all going to change when Disney launches their service, their streaming service.
Yeah.
They're all going to be on there. Like this thing is going to be a probably pretty pricey per month subscription for this Disney service. When you think about it, you're going to have all the Marvel universe, you're going to have all the Star Wars, and all the Disney, all on there.
Or is it going to be similar to iTunes where you got to buy your things one at a time?
I think it's a streaming Netflix style service,
Yeah.
but I mean nobody really knows for sure. I don't.
What's
think.
going on
But-
with this Apple TV Plus thing that's coming up?
Yeah, did you see this?
Well, yeah, I watched the keynote.
Well,
We might be digressing.
Yeah, we're digressing. Let's circle back. We'll talk about that.
Did you just go
off air? But yeah, so all these movies, or all these at least Disney-based ones, the Disney-owned ones, I guess, are going to be available at any time. So it's going to kind of change it. Like for us growing up, it was like when they became available is when you got to see them. You know, and now for that next generation of kids, like parents will be. Like, I used to know parents that would buy them up whenever they were on their limited release, so they could have them for their future kids. You know, like they didn't even have kids yet, but they were stocking up and collecting these VHS tapes of these films and then eventually DVDs so they could have them for the kids. Like, when they released the Cinderellas, Snow Whites, Little Mermaid, Lion King, like all these classic Disney films, and they're all really great.
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys have one that you just hated as a kid?
what?
Like a Disney film or an animated film or...
Oh man, you guys remember? Oh, it is Disney. Oh,
What?
there's a movie that I loved as a kid.
Cloak and Dagger.
No, Mr. Boogedy. Did you guys ever watch Mr. Boogedy?
Mr. Boogedy?
Are you making this up?
No, it's Disney. Hold on. Search Disney Mr. Boogedy. See if it's real. No, I know it's real. See if it's actually
it's
Disney.
real.
Dude, it's a family movie about the boogeyman, and it is forget what I said earlier about Willy Wonka or Milo and Otis. Mr. Boogedy is my favorite childhood movie, family film. Did you Google this yet?
I'm looking it up on IMDb.
Yeah, it's Mr. Boogedy.
Yeah,
It's
Mr.
Disney.
Boogie.
No, Mr. Boogedy.
No, dude.
Dude, I'm about to...
Is this like a family movie you and your sister made? Of like
We made
your
it.
mom and dad running camera or something like that?
Oh yeah, it's Disney. It is a Disney movie called Mr. Boogedy. It's amazing. Hey, look at this. Yeah.
Get out of here
Yeah.
with that.
No,
Stop it.
you made that in your Photoshop app.
Right, that's not a real thing. I can't find it.
I'm
anywhere.
gonna show you guys the trailer after we're done. 1986. It's only 45 minutes
Oh,
long.
there it is, 1986. It's, you know what it was? It was a TV magical world of Disney. You guys remember that? They used to run it Sundays.
Okay,
on Live.
one. Christy Swanson's in this.
Shut up.
David Faustino. You guys know Bud Bundy?
Yep.
Yep. Richard Mazur, Mimi Kennedy. There's a lot of random
Some
in this.
kid named Benji.
Why don't we just talk about like Erie, Indiana if we're gonna go to the TV show?
Bro, I love that show. I was so mad when it got canceled. Erie, Indiana was
Erie,
great.
Indiana.
Yeah, you ever watch that?
No, man.
Oh, man, it was like a kid's Twilight Zone
Yeah.
almost. But it took place in Erie, Indiana.
Yeah,
but
small
wasn't
town.
there like a shop where he kept all the stuff in? He'd always have like it was his closet. He'd have
Yeah.
like the twins that they wouldn't age because they
Yeah.
were in the Tupperware.
Yeah, they were sealed in.
Yeah,
the,
he like saved like a
Tupperware.
Tupperware thing and put it in the closet. He always had like a memento.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know who it
like,
is?
I watched like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, it's the kid from Hocus Pocus, the older brother.
Okay.
He's the kid from
There's
Erie,
another one,
Indiana.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Guys, we could keep going on and on, but
We're-
at this
we're-
point, I think we should kind of take this thing home, wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Luna, welcome to the world. We're very excited to have you.
Oh,
With that being
man.
said, cheers, guys. Tony, you got it queued up. Take us home, friend.
Beneath the pale blue light. This has been Kicker Rocks Podcast 2 Drink Minimum coming at you. Chicka chicka bow wow cow now. Luna, wow!
And cut.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Two Drink Minimum. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was a fun one. For the record, if I had to pick, I'd say Neverending Story for one of mine, for sure. But it's tough to beat An American Tale, and that is by far one of the best endings we've ever had. Tony just has a lovely singing voice. He sounded just like him. Sounded just like Feifel, if you ask me. Anyway, if you agree with our choices, if you disagree, if you have your own opinion, you know where you can reach out to us. You can comment right on our Facebook page. You can comment on our iTunes page. Heck, you can find us on Spotify now. How about that? That's pretty wild, isn't it? Thank you very much for tuning in. We've got some fun sketches and podcasts coming your way down the pipeline. This has been Two Drink Minimum. We've been drinking, thinking, and talking shop. Cheers, everybody.